and I got you covered. I'll show you how to make some really cool beats with Redrum and Logic Pro Rewired. Oh yeah, and by the way, did you know that if you spell Redrum backwards, it's murder? What's up with you, Reason? You got a dark side, Reason. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so we are live right now. And hey, this is Brian from LogicProHacks. How's it going? I'm going to go ahead and start taking requests and working on questions that people ask. What I'm doing now is I'm going to set up a special email account that you guys can send requests to. Basically, you pay me for my time to, do the research and solve your problem. It's basically a troubleshooting help desk, and I'll go ahead and I'll set that up through my website, and I'll put the link below, and you just put in your information, contact information. I'll go ahead and I'll make a video about whatever problem you're having. If it's a Midi problem, if it's a problem with Reason and Logic, Logic, Ableton, whatever it is, FL Studio. I've been doing this for a long time, so that way we can help each other out. I can solve your problem, and I'll just do a video about it and show how I solved that problem in real time, and at the same time you help me out. Well, the other day I had a question come in, and he was asking, how do you take an export or run Midi from Redrum, the patterns that you make in Redrum, and how do you get them into Logic? Well, this was a pretty challenging, hard one. And it's more to do with Reason in the way that they make it very difficult to send Midi out of Reason. You have to use some external instrument, and even then, you're not really able to harness certain instruments in Reason. So that said, let's go to the very beginning here and show you how I have things set up. First, let me say I'll go ahead and link in some videos that show you how to set up Rewire in Logic Pro X with the new and latest and greatest Reason. I'm running Reason 10, and from Reason 10 I have it in Rewire mode in Logic Pro, and I'll just kind of lightly go over a little bit. And it is, if you go into audio, you just want to make sure that the Rewire behavior mode is set as playback mode. And after you set that, you have to totally quit Logic. You can't just close the project. You have to restart Logic. And I'll go ahead and link the video that shows how to do that. And then, you start up Logic first, and then you start up Reason. All right, so we did that. In preferences, in recording, you go recording project settings. And what you want to do is, I like to have the auto D Mux by channel. So what that means is, a lot of times if you're recording Midi from another external instrument, mainly this deals with, like, I have an old synth, like an MC909, and I can record all 16 channels coming in at the same time. And so what this does is actually, it'll come in on one track, and it'll actually separate each channel by the Midi number, which is really nice. And then I can go ahead and further edit it in Logic Pro. All right, that said, let's get on with it. All right, so the question of the day was, how do you export Midi from Reason, or, how do you run Midi from the Reason Redrum into Logic? And I got you covered here. Let's go ahead and close these out. All right, so after we had all the basics set up in here, we want to make sure that we'll go into our mixer channel, and you kind of see what I'm doing right here. So let's go ahead and, here's my Redrum rack, and all the red ones are all Reason coming in, and I have them separated by kick, snare, FX, tom, ride, all those kind of cool things that you like to do, and each one is running its own compressor and its own channel EQ. Now, granted, you could, since in Rewire, you can actually do this within Reason and use the really nice SSL if you're into that. But I just find things easier when I do it this way. So, it's your own preference. So I'm running channel EQs and compressors, and I even got my own, panning going on. And how this is done is, you look here, you got I'm running mono on my kick, so that's why it's only shows L. So, but on my snares, you got 3, 4, and you just go, damn dog, come on, stop it. Gets a little overexcited in the daytime, especially when it sees another dog pass by. It's like, hey, I want to play with you, doggy. So I start barking my head off. Anyways, you can see, all these different ones, 3, 4, the next one's 5, 6, go on and on. And so there's 10 channels in Reason Redrum. So if we go back out and let's show you the Midi. I only have one Midi set up here, and those are all audio channels. And how those audio channels are set up is if you just go aux create new auxiliary channel strip right there, Control N, and it'll create that, and then you just go ahead and just set that. And then after I set that, I'll go ahead and I'll just highlight them all, and I'll just go read. I'll just hit the read, and let's go. And what will happen is, let's get out of this. What will happen is it'll populate all these little tracks here. Let me just get this a little bit bigger so you can see what's going on. This will actually, what will happen is it will show up now and populate itself into the Logic arrangement. And that way you can then, when you bounce it out, you can bounce it out in real time. You go Command B, and you just make sure you check this one right here, real time, because offline mode, what offline mode does is it only records the actual instruments that are within native to Logic. Anything that is external that sends audio, it won't record that. So you have to make sure that it's real time. And that's it. And so you can see I haven't really recorded anything yet. I don't have any audio coming in. But however, I do have, let's see if I can, yeah, here they are. It does not, like if you look at the, here's like an audio channel. You see that it has the input monitoring, but on the auxiliary, it doesn't have that. It just has the, it's a little bit limited of a track, but it's still good enough. I can still run reverbs and stuff on it, which I am doing, and EQs. So, and then after that, I'll go ahead and I'll basically right click on it and just do, create track stack summing. And then I'll run another compressor on top of it. Just kind of glue it all in. So, fun stuff. So you're saying, well, what does it sound like? All right. First, let me explain. This right here is the Reason Midi channel that sends the Midi signal into Reason. So like right here, I have this file. Double click on that. You can see the, I got that on there. That's all that going into Reason and coming back into these audio files, which is kind of cool. And okay, then how is it hooked up in Reason? All right, so let's go over to Reason and show you how it's hooked up over there. Oh, other way. Here we go. So in Reason, we'll go ahead and flip the rack around. You can see that it's in Rewire mode, Rewire device mode, and it says that, so we know we're good there. And then look at that. Oh my gosh. Yuck. All those cables, confusing. No, it's not. It's really easy. So what I like to do is in my preferences, options, where is it? Preferences, yeah. If we go into, I just hit hide cables. I feel that, I don't really need the prettiness of it. And it still shows it. And so what I do is, a lot of times I find it just gets in the way, and I'll just hit the K key, and it'll get out of the way, so that way I can actually see what I'm trying to, move around. So you can see there's my mono. I have my mono connected. So if we go back, it's just 1 to 1, and then 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and if we go to more audio, you can see that, I'm using only up to 1920, and each one is routed. I'm not even using this part right here. Each one is routed to its own channel, which is kind of cool. And then if we hit the K key back, you can see in a different way. It's kind of nice. So all that is a big spaghetti mess there, and that's what's going on. Each one, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, blah blah blah. Pretty easy. That's how it's routed. I don't do anything in the mastering section. Look there. I'm not using the mastering. Not doing any of that. You could use that. You could run it through there if you wanted to, do like a master out and, do some trickery that way if you wanted to. But I'm not mastering right now. So that's why I don't use it. I just go straight into the virtual audio interface. And then, I'm not doing any sampling, so I just make sure the only thing that's connected is what is needed. So that's it. And then on the front, I'm running a, just some sample set that I found. I'm not even sure where it is. It's called Break Kick 1. I'm not even sure where I found it at, but it's in part of my collection of stuff that I've had for a while. And I like it. It sounds pretty good. You got the kick. It's a nice, grimy, gritty kit. And then I found a pattern. The pattern that I found, Reason Experts. It's a website called reasonexperts.com. And if you go through their site, he has a listing of like 100 pre-made patterns. And you just open up in an old Logic file. You actually have to open up the, not Logic file, you have to open up the Reason file. You know what? Let's just go ahead and I'll show you how he did it. So what I would do is to import him in is I would just basically, just double click on this guy to open it up. And it would say, well, it says the sounds are found, but I doubt that rarely. Most of the time it would say the sounds aren't found. And so, let's move this guy over here. All right, so we got 2 of them in at the same time. That's kind of cool. And so what I will do is I'll go ahead and just say copy pattern or copy patch, but what I really want is the pattern. So go down here, say copy pattern. And so the pattern from that is there. And then I'll go ahead and just maybe just create another redrum. Just put it in here and hold down the shift key, because I don't want it connecting anything. Just close the browser out. And we'll go ahead and just say paste pattern right here. Right click or control click. Paste pattern. And there it is. It's in there, you can see. And then we can go ahead and we can just go ahead and just shut this guy out. Make sure it's on the one. File, close. Yep, there we go. And then from there we have a pattern in the redrum. And then I'll go ahead and I'll say, since it's its own track, I'll right click on it again once I have it in the project that I'm working in. Pattern to track, right there. And I'll go ahead and click on that. And then if we go to our sequencer, there it is right there. There's that new pattern. Now, what we have to do is go ahead and go up to here to go File. I think it's a file, Export MIDI file. That's it. And I'll come up with window, and then I'll go ahead and I will just basically, this is my project folder for my Logic project folder, and you can see I already have one there, and so this is the hardcore something 130 BPM, so I'll just say hardcore 130 BPM pattern, say, you know, something like that. Redrum pattern. There you go. So, you know, whatever. And then I can go ahead and just delete that, and go ahead and delete this one. Yes, yes. And then we can go back into our Logic screen. And so say like we want to use that new pattern. Just click over here on the side and, you know, somewhere kind of out of the way, and then just go File, Import, Midi file. And just go ahead and pick that one that we have. Say Import. It'll ask you if you want to import the tempo because the tempo is 130, but I'm going to say no because actually my project was in 165 and somehow it got changed. So I got to go change it back. I like 165. That's a nice DMB. I don't know how it got changed, but okay. There we go. So there it is. After we did our import, it'll come in as like a piano file, whatever, and we don't want that. So what we'll do is just go ahead and just, you know, grab it, put it up here. Now we have our pattern, and we'll go ahead and just delete that because we don't need that. And yay! So if we go ahead and double click on it, we can open it up in the Midi, and there it is. That's what it looks like. And it was a. You just kind of just see what it sounds like. It's probably gotta sound all weird because I'm using different drums, but okay. And it's faster. Here, let's play it. Yeah, so you get the picture, you know. That's how you import patterns from Redrum, and then you could use that pattern and play it from Logic into Redrum. The issue here is Redrum just does not have the ability to do MIDI out. I just have not found a real way to. You could trigger MIDI notes, but to actually record the MIDI notes from Redrum into Logic, I don't think that could be done. So this is my way around it, and that's how you do it. And this is, let me show you one more thing here. This is kind of cool. This is my original one that I was working on. This sounds kind of cool. Let's start from here. Alright, yay. So you can see that, you know, I've had a lot of fun with this Redrum, and, you know, I'm not really running that much volume from it, and it still sounds pretty decent. You know, I'm running compressors on it. Logic has some really good compressors. I think they compete to some of the better paid ones, so I like using them. And, you know, I did this in a couple hours or so, and just working on something kind of interesting. Doing some kind of drum and bass thing, hip-hop, something like that. And these drum and, you know, this one was actually imported from a Logic, you know, loop library. If we go in here and just do, what are we looking for here? And just do DMB. Yeah, there they are. So, you know, you get all these different ones. You know, if we just sort it by the green ones, that's our MIDI files, you know. You know, I was picking the 160. You know, something, you know, that's the one. And so what I would do is I just, you know, drop and drag, put it in there. Keep in mind, when you pick a track from here, don't put it in your existing one, because what it'll do is it'll overwrite the track with Logic's information. I think there's a setting where you can prevent it from doing that, but a lot of times people forget to do that. So when you pick a track, just put it in its own new track. Let's say like I'll go right there, and it creates its own little instrument. And then what you do is you just basically just take it off there, and then you know, put it in your track over here. You know, that way it doesn't overwrite the original one and mess you up. You can still probably get it back. You do like a, you know, Command Z and, you know, get back your thing. But a lot of times, like when you're in Rewire mode, it doesn't really work right, because it just clears everything out and it really messes you up. And then you have to reconnect everything. So, you know, just save you a little bit of trouble there. Do not drop and drag into the existing track that you already have set up with Rewire, because it will screw you up really bad. Do it in a new track, and then just take the track from there, and then go up and put it in there wherever you want it. So, oh, I forgot. When you do that and you bring it up here, you're going to have to keep in mind that Reason uses the first channels starting in C1, and it goes all the way up, you know, 10 spots, you know, so it's basically, it goes to like B flat is the highest it'll go. So just keep in mind that, you know, these, you'll have to move the notes up. Like this is your kick drum, this is your snare, and this is your ride, and, you know, all these different things that, you know, you have to just match it up, and it just takes a little extra step to do that. But once you do that, you can have something really cool, and you can play all your Logic MIDI files in Reason. So I thought that was kind of cool. I hope this helps someone out there. Please subscribe, give me a like. More of this networking kind of stuff with music. And if you have any questions, concerns, drop me a comment. I usually respond back within the hour or so. Remember, my friends, big Rivet.